I, Mrs. Madhvi Matre, welcome you all in the next lecture of Mathematics 1. I hope all of you are doing well at home. At the same time, you are studying well because you know that this year 9th standard marks also were calculated for the 10th standard result. Okay, so 9th standard is equally important. Don't think that we will study in 10th standard. 9th standard is the base of 10th standard. So now also you should give the equal importance to the study and you should study regularly. Okay. Now you all of you must be ready with your textbook and notebook. As I have said that go on writing as I explain you. Okay. The sums from the exercise. We are discussing the points and solved example from the textbook also. So sit with textbook so that you can underline the important parts there and at the same time you can understand the solved examples. Okay. We are studying chapter number 2, real numbers, and in that we have completed these topics: properties of rational numbers, then properties of irrational numbers. And based on this, we have studied practice set 2.1 and practice set 2.2. Now we are moving to the important concept of surds. Okay, this is a totally new word for you, so you need to understand it. So by using the knowledge of rational numbers and irrational numbers, we will try to understand the meaning of the surds, and then we will see the comparison of the surds, then operation on the surds and rationalization of surds. But here you will find that one word quadratic is there everywhere. So here in this chapter we are going to study the surd whose order is 2. Surds with order 2, they are called as quadratic surds. Okay, so here we are going to study only the specific type of surds, that is quadratic surds. Now let us start. So to understand surds better, first we will see what is meaning of the positive root. Okay, so let us try to understand that. That root of positive rational number. In the previous lecture we have seen that here root of negative rational number is not possible, because we know that square is always positive. That is why here we are going to think of root of positive rational number. Okay, so now let us try to understand this. So for that purpose, let us take two numbers where we can compare them. Okay, so now here we are taking x square is equal to 2. Okay, this is an equality. So if x square is equal to 2 and if we take the square root on both the sides, then we are going to get the value of x as x is equal to root 2 or x is equal to minus root 2. See, every square has two roots. One is positive and other is negative. Okay, so that is why whenever you are solving for this, that x square is equal to 2 or any p square is equal to 4, then you need to write two roots, one positive root and other is negative root. Okay, now here these two roots which we have found out, that is root 2 and minus root 2, these both are irrational numbers. What you can find here is 2 is a rational number, but its root is root 2 or minus root 2. They both are what? Irrational numbers. See, this minus sign, it is outside the root sign. You have to keep in mind this, that minus sign you cannot write inside. We have seen in the previous lecture that here the root of negative rational number is not a real number. So we are not going to think of root of negative rational number. Always we are going to think of root of positive rational number. Okay, so this minus sign should appear outside this square root sign. Similarly, we can think of numbers like this. See, this is called as cube root of 7. You have studied this in 7th standard and 8th standard. How to read this? Cube root of 7. This gives us the order here. See, here nothing is seen. It is the order by default here is 2. 2 we are not writing. We are always using this symbol as square root. But here you can see 3 is written here. So we can say that this is cube root of 7. This is 4th root of 8. These are also irrational numbers. So here we can say that here inside the root sign always we have a positive rational number. So these numbers root 2, minus root 2, cube root of 7, 4th root of 8, all these are irrational numbers. Okay. So here in general now if we want to write, so how to write it? So if n is a positive integer, like here you have 7 and 8. So in general we have taken the letter n. So n is a positive integer and then x raised to n is equal to a. And if we take the nth root on both the sides, here also if we take nth root and here also if we take nth root, then we will get x is as nth root of a. So here if we want to write down nth root of a like this, then a will come inside and in place of 4 here you can write down n. Okay. So this way we can write down nth root of a. Now this root, it can be rational or it can be irrational. Just take an example that if you are taking cube root of 8 in place of 7 here, if you have 8, then you can write down cube root of 8 as 2. So that is going to be rational number. This is irrational, but in place of 7 if we have 8 here, then that is going to be rational number. So here this nth root of a, it can be rational or it can be irrational. Okay, we cannot say specifically that it is irrational only. So depending upon the number which is inside this sign, the number can be rational or irrational. Okay, so in this way we can explain the nth root of positive rational number. Okay, now take the example here. 2 raised to 5 is 32. You know that 2 raised to 5 means 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. 5 times you have to multiply. So your answer is going to be what? 32. So what we can say is 2 is 5th root of 32. Okay, like here if you write 32 and if you write 5 here, then the answer of that is going to be what? 2. So here 2 is 5th root of 32. But if we take opposite here, see, x raised to 5 is 2. So here if we take the 5th root on both the sides, then value of x is going to be 5th root of 2. This is an irrational number. Okay. If we have 32 inside, then the answer will be 2. But if we have 2 inside and 5 as the order, then it is an irrational number. Why? Because here 2 is a prime number. You know that we cannot factorize it further. So this x is equal to 5th root of 2 is an irrational number. Okay, so what you have to think in mind in nutshell is that here inside the square root sign you should have positive number. You cannot have negative number inside. We have studied that if we have negative number inside the root sign, then it is not a real number. So here as you have kept in mind that the square is always positive, similarly here we are going to think of root of positive rational number only. Okay, so now these such numbers, see, 5th root of 2, then cube root of 7, 4th root of 8, root 2, this minus root 2, all these numbers are called as surds. Okay, so surd is nothing but what? Irrational root. So now let us study about surds. Let us see the definition of surds. Okay, So now for surds, we will take one example. We know that here that 5 is a rational number, but root 5 is not rational, or you can say that root 5 is irrational. We have proved this. We have written the proof for why root 2 is an irrational number. Similarly, we can prove that root 5 is irrational or root 5 is not rational. Okay, so such numbers, root 5, root 2, root 3, they are called as surds. So in general, we can say here that nth root of any number, it can be either rational or irrational. Like we have seen the example previously. That we cannot say definitely that it is an irrational number. So nth root of any number, it can be rational or it can be irrational. We have seen this with the example. Okay, now let us see the definition of surd. So if n is an integer greater than 1, okay, and if a is a positive real number and nth root of a is x, then it can be written as x raised to n is equal to a, and if we take the nth root on both the sides, then it is written as nth root of a is equal to x. Okay, so in this case now this nth root of a is x, and if x is an irrational number, then we can say that this particular number, that is nth root of a, is a surd. See, here we have three conditions. The very first condition here, this n means order, it should be greater than 1. Second condition, the number inside this, it should be positive real number. Negative number is not allowed. Okay, and overall this number, nth root of a, that is x, it should be irrational number. Then we can say that x, that means nth root of a, is a surd. And what is meaning of surd? Surd is an irrational root. In all, this number should be irrational. Okay, now with various examples, when we will study, that time you will understand the definition better. As I have said, you should have three conditions. This order n, it should be greater than 1. That means it should be 2 minimum. Inside whatever number you have, that should be positive real number, and overall this nth root of a, it should be an irrational number. So if these three conditions are satisfied, then we can say that x is a surd. Okay, so how to write the definition now? If a is a positive rational number and nth root of a is x, and if x is an irrational number, then x is called a surd. Surd is nothing but an irrational root. Okay, now let us see the terms here. Try to understand the terms, what they are called as. So here in the surd, nth root of a, this is how we are going to read nth root of a. This symbol is called as radical sign. Then n, the number present here, is called as order of the surd. And a, that means whatever number present, positive number present inside, it is called as radicand. Once again, the symbol here is called as radical sign. The number which is written here outside but small, you can compare the font size here. This is smaller in size. So the number which is present here just outside the symbol, it is called as order of the surd, and the number inside is called as radicand. So you can underline in your textbook, these are the important terms. Okay, so this nth root of a is called as surd if and only if we satisfy the three conditions, that this n, it should be greater than 1 or it should be minimum 2. Then the number inside, that is a, it should be positive real number, and overall this number should be irrational. Then and then only we can say that nth root of a is a surd. Okay, now let us discuss with examples. Okay, so the very first example here is cube root of 7. See this example. So in this example, value of a is 7, positive real number. Value of n is 3, it is greater than 1. Okay, I said three conditions we want. This order, it should be greater than 1. So it is 3 means greater than 1. Then inside we have 7, a positive rational number. And in all, cube root of 7 is irrational number, and therefore we can say that cube root of 7 is a surd. Three conditions you need to verify. A is plus 7, n is 3, and cube root of 7 is irrational number. Therefore we can say that cube root of 7 is a surd. Now let us take one more example here. Second one. See, cube root of 27 now. Here we are having cube root of 7, but here we have cube root of 27. Now let us see the conditions. First of all, the order, it is 3 greater than 1. First condition is satisfied. Inside value of a, radicand, is plus 27, a positive rational number. Second condition also is satisfied. But you know that 27 is a perfect cube. We can write down cube root of 27 as 3, and 3 is not an irrational number. And therefore we are going to say that cube root of 27 is not a surd. Two conditions are satisfied, but the third condition, that overall the number should be an irrational number, that is not satisfied. Okay, because cube root of 27 is 3, which is not an irrational number. Therefore, this cube root of 27 is not a surd. Let us go further. Let us take one more example. Cube root of 8. Is it a surd or not? So if you see at this example, immediately you will say that it is not a surd. Why? Because cube root of 8 is 2. You know that. But here in textbook it is explained in different way. So let us see it. So what it is, this cube root of 8 is taken as p. And since here order is 3, we have taken cube on both the sides. So if we take cube on both the sides, then we will get p cube is equal to 8. Okay, and that means here 8 is cube of 2. We know that 8 is cube of 2, or cube root of 8 is 2. Okay, 2 is cube root of 8, or cube of 2 is 8. So here 2 is not an irrational number. Therefore what we can say is this cube root of 8 is also not a surd. Okay, so now here now let us see the simplest form of the surd. What is meaning of the simplest form, that we will try to understand with the examples here. Here two examples are given in textbook. So the very first example here is root 48. So this root 48 is called as pure form of the surd. Now in this 48, we have to factorize it in such a way that the one factor should be a perfect square. Now you have to start with the square of 2. Square of 2 is what? 4. See, 48 is divisible by 4. 12 4s are 48, you know that. But we have to think of the biggest square. So after that 3 square is 9, but 48 is not divisible by 9. 4 square is 16. We can divide 48 by 16. 48 we can write as 16 into 3. So 48 is factorized in such a way that one factor is a perfect square. And after this 16 into 3 we can write as a separate multiplication. We can separate it. So we can write it as root 16 into root 3. But this root 16 is nothing but what? 4. Root 16 we can write as 4. And root 3 we have to write as root 3 here, because 3 is not a perfect square. It is an irrational number. See, this is rational number. 4 is a rational number and root 3 is irrational number. So 48 we expressed as 4 root 3. So this 4 root 3 is called as simplest form of root 48. Root 48 is called as pure form and 4 root 3 is called as simplest form, because now here in these 3 I cannot factorize 3 further to get a perfect square. So this is called as simplest form. Similarly, root 98. 98 we can factorize as 49 into 2. See, always keep in mind that one factor should be a perfect square. You have to think of perfect square. Don't think of any other factors. Like 48, you cannot think of 8 into 6. Because 8 is not a perfect square, 6 is also not a perfect square. So similarly for 98, we can write it as 49 into 2. Why? Because 49 is a perfect square. It is square of 7. Afterwards, we can split this as root 49 into root 2. And root 49 means 7. And here root 2 as it is. So square root of 98 is written as 7 root 2. So this 7 root 2 and 4 root 3, they are called as simplest form of surd. Similarly, now we can say that root 2, root 3, root 5, they are the simplest form. Why? Because we cannot simplify them further. Okay, so here I hope you must have understood the meaning of simplest form of surd. Okay, now when we will study the practice set, that time you will understand it better. Now let's go further. Here after this we are going to see the concept of similar or like surds. So here you see these 3 surds. Root 2 minus 3 root 2, 4 upon 5 root 2. Now here in these 3 examples, there are 2 parts always. See, for every surd we have 2 parts. One part is rational and other part is irrational. Here also for root 2 we can write it as 1 root 2. So 1 is a rational number and root 2 is an irrational number. So here for every simplest form we have 2 parts. One is a rational part and other is an irrational part. So here to understand the similar surd or like surd, you need to observe only the irrational part. And what you can observe here is the irrational number present here is exactly same. Root 2 and root 2. So these are called as what? Like surds. So as I have said, every surd has 2 parts. So here P and Q, they are rational numbers. Opposite to that, this root A is an irrational number. But you will find that root A is present both the places. Even though the rational part is different, the irrational part is exactly same. So such surds, they are called as like surds. Okay, so how we can define it? That 2 surds are said to be like surds if and only if their order, see here, order is 2. And order is equal, at the same time radicands, the number inside, they are called as what? Radicands. So radicands also should be equal. Okay, like here root 2 and root 2. See, everywhere 2 is present. So that is radicand is equal everywhere. And here also order is 2. So order also is equal. So both the things are needed. Order also should be equal and radicands also should be equal. Then and then only we can say that the surds are like surds or they are similar surds. Okay. Now let us go further. We will take one example to understand like surds. Here the example of root 45 and root 80. These are two surds and you will observe that the order of the surd is 2. As I have said, if nothing is seen here, no number is seen here, then the order is 2 by default. Now here the order is same. But what you can observe is radicands are different. They are not same. So now can we say that these two are like surds? So simply by observing here, one will say that no, they are not like surds. But just now we have seen the simplest form of the surd. So if we have such big numbers inside, always we need to convert these surds into simplest form, and then only we can decide whether they are like surds or not. Okay, so let us express this in the simplest form. So this root 45 I can write as 9 into 5. 9 is a perfect square. Then 9 into 5 we can split as root 9 into root 5, and then root 9 means 3 and root 5 as it is. So root 45 is expressed as 3 root 5 in the simplest form. Let us do it for root 80 now. So root 80 we can write as 16 into 5. 16 is a perfect square. Okay. So root 80 we can write as 16 into 5 inside the root sign. And further we can separate it as root 16 into root 5. But this root 16 is 4. 16 is the perfect square of 4. And then root 5 as it is. Now you observe this simplest form and just recall the definition of the like surds which we have seen in the previous slide, that we don't have to do anything with this rational part. We have to only observe irrational part. Here the order is 2 and radicand is 5. So order also is equal, radicand also is equal. So we can say that these two are like surds. And since these two are like surds, root 45 and root 80, they are also like surds or they are also similar surds. Okay, here we have to observe only the irrational part. In this way, we can understand that which are the like surds or which are the similar surds. For example, if you have root 3 here and root 5 here, then they are not like surds. That you have to keep in mind. Okay, so here you have to remember this important point, that in the simplest form of surds, if the order of the surd is same, see here order is same and radicand also is equal, then and then only we can say that the surds are similar surds or like surds. Okay. So students, I hope you must have understood up to this. The next part, that is comparison of the surds, that we will see in next lecture. Okay. So students, today I am stopping here. Till that, you stay home, stay safe, take care of yourself. Thank you students.